Finally, the Sky Striker invasion begins. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out. More awesome content. This is what we like to call an absolute dumpster fire of an event. This is an event that you look at for the breakdown, you turn your head around and you go, what happened here? Why is there... Well, Draco Tail really does show itself to be one of the better decks. And this is a thing that we talk about when you shift from region to region, because not every event is going to have the same image being painted here. You know, you're not going to be able to look at one region and go, oh, okay, well, you know, this was clearly, well, you will be able to tell, you know, decks based on region which are better, but you're still going to be scoping out the same meta overall. Now, 5 Draco Tail with branded, nothing new to see here. This is nothing shocking to say the least. Actually, kind of relieved to see that this deck is still doing well. Got to keep the expectations up with this. Now, we do have 2 Sky Striker players that did very well. Sky Striker made first place and got top 4 in this event, which is crazy. And DDD also got top 4 out of this event, which left 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. All just being, you know, Draco Tail slop at this point. Yes, there is no Yummy in this, which doesn't necessarily bode well for the rest of how the meta has been shaping up, but it's enough of a diversity that, you know, no Mitsurugi, none of these other Radiant Typhoon's not here, but I don't think that this really invalidates this event, because I think Sky Striker playing into Draco Tail is actually not a terrible matchup. You have a lot of good tools at your disposal just to be able to play through a lot of the madness that the deck kind of sets up. So, I mean, that's very, very refreshing to say the least. Now, let's talk about some list. So we have Vincinius's first place list. Now, I see we only played 1 copy of Rose, which this is a crazy discussion here. Playing 1 Rose with triple Desires. I know a lot of people are very hesitant to do this, because if you Desires away the Rose, why my deck no work now, though? All right, like, that's a very interesting discussion to talk about when you're looking at this deck, because losing that Rose is very, very rough. I do see this list also chose to play 2 copies of Luminous Gate. Luminous Gate's been kind of bouncing back and forth as one of the discussions, like, do you want to play 1 or do you want to play 2? And I think this works out decently well for the decision. You're also going to notice we have 1 Tactiles in the main with a Thrust in the side. Thrust, while it is still an ignorant Yu-Gi-Oh card, ain't nobody going to deny that, we are just seeing, like, it's just kind of better to push into the side deck. Now, new tools we got. We have 1 Camellia. We do have the Link 1, and we have the Engage Blow Up the Field guy. You're also going to notice we cut Kagari down to 2. Yeah, basically. You have to make concessions somewhere along the way. As much as I love Kagari, it being such a stupidly good card, you know, it just regenerates advantage. You have the second copy of the Luminous Gate to basically foolproof the deck so that you can kind of get that level of reassurance. Also, Ego Booster is probably one of the stupidest Yu-Gi-Oh cards I've seen be printed in so long. Like, this card is definitely one of the reasons why this deck is going to be able to do things. I also see we're playing Psychonos down here as well. Like, hello, Psychonos. The card is absolutely garbage, but, you know, they're choosing to play it, and I guess that's fine. Also, the 1/1 line on this, I think, is just fine. Next up here, we have Adicha's Draco Tail second place list. Now, Draco Tail, in terms of what you're getting with this deck, you don't get a lot of craziness anymore with this. You know, you get a couple of, like, woo, that's a cool idea, but that's about it. 2 Fallen, 1 Old Fallen. Going with the Triple Incredible Ecclesia. I think Triple Incredible has become a pretty decent norm at this point. As much as I want to be like, you know, maybe you don't need it, it just comes down to the structural build that, you know, whatever player wants to have within the list, and I think that ends up being just fine. What I do find interesting is we're only playing 1 Fallen and Virtuous in this list. Maybe they just felt like they didn't want to dedicate the crazy amount of resources to this. Maybe they just felt that they didn't need it, but that definitely is interesting, but I guess they made the concession to play the Sting in the main deck instead of side decking it. That's definitely been a choice that we've been seeing between a lot of these lists, is just like variants on Sting. You know, do I want Sting to be a card to actually handle here, or what? We've also got triple Fenrir Reno here. Fenrir is such a stupid card. Being able to just a special Fenrir, recruit for a Fenrir, kind of keep the Congo line of Fenrirs going, definitely gets a little bit stupid. Also, shout out to the entirety of the hand trap lineup down here, man. They really jam-packed all of that in just to be able to get all of those options to make it look decently well. Next up is Pascal's DDD list. Now, I do see that we're down to one dark contract with the Rhoda. That's amazing. I didn't think I would see people cutting back on that, but that's perfectly understandable. We've also got triple Forbidden Crown in this list. I do think Crown is an incredibly broken card, and a deck like DDD being able to kind of access that actually is not all that surprising. Obviously, still going with the 2 King Gilgamesh. Not really much of a reason to change that about. I do think the other interesting thing that this list is doing is our Super Polys targets here are pretty strong. Obviously, you know, having access to Ilia Sylvia and Saint Azamina, both of which, by the way, are stupidly ignorant cards that, you know, a deck like this getting access to might actually be a little bit dangerous for things kind of going forward. But I like this. This is interesting just to see the scope of ideas that a list like this is kind of putting together, because it shows, like, yes, DDD still has all of its craziness that it wants to have, you know, especially we are playing the Dark Armageddon. Holy crap, been a while since we've seen that guy. It's usually been the Bright King Armageddon, but okay, I like this. Definitely a deck that has too much of a high ceiling for me to want to play, though. Next up is Mason's Sky Striker list. And, hey, you see something missing from this list? Can you guys spot the Pot of Desires? This list just chose not to even touch Pot of Desires. And you know what? Good for you, man. Sometimes I hate that card, too. But sometimes I like that that card says trying to win the game. So that means we're only playing one Rose for optimized consistency. We're playing one Lemon Gate to kind of keep things low to the floor. We do have triple Kagari in here. I do see we are playing Camellia and the Monarasu. We are not playing the Engage Zero for the board wipe. We are playing the Exiton Knight instead, which I think is fine. We've got triple Upstart in here. Playing the Cross Out. We do have the Drolls in the main deck. Actually, having the Drolls in the main deck, I think, does give us a little bit more protection, basically, to be able to kind of go through and do things. Also see we are side decking Hamp down here. This duelist was more prepared for Lunalights. Going into the Lunalight matchup is not like a super fun time. You do have to have cards that can basically try to handle these matchups and go. I do like Shared Ride was such a stupidly good card. I also see we have 2 Thrust and the Different Dimension Ground down here as well. So it feels like with this list, you've got most of your bases covered. You know, we just took a different approach. Instead of playing Desires, you know, we kept things a little bit more low to the ground, a little bit more optimized, and that's just fine. And then we have Lara's Draco Tail special here. Now, Draco Tail, pretty self-explanatory. I see we're going with the triple Incredible Ecclesia here. And then I see we got Creative down here in the side deck. We are playing the from a PAL 5 Rainbow. This card is really, really good in certain matchups, and it's crazy. I do see we've also got triple Mistaken Arrest coming in down here as well. So, like, this format's cute to me because, like, we have Shared Ride and Mistaken Arrest, both opposite extremes of each other. It's just, do I want to draw cards or do I just want to shut you off from, you know, playing the game? And seeing the progression in that swing of things in the format, I think is very, very interesting. We get to see so many different ways that we're going about this. Like, it's very polarizing, and yet it's very innovative just to kind of see where the pendulum swings here. So what do you guys think about these interesting innovations, to say the least? So please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I look forward to seeing what other, you know, these regional events and so forth are going to bring. You guys have a good rest of your day. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.